rung.
I'm serious, he's getting his bell rung. We didn't even have a chance to welcome the fans to NWA Mountain State Wrestling this week.
He's still hearing the bell ringing. That's a sound that hasn't gone stop in his head, and Lance Erikson isn't letting up for a second.
Lance Erickson still very, very upset about what happened last week here on NWA Mountain State Wrestling. Ricky Shane interjecting himself into Lance Erickson's title match against the Maestro.
And how would you like to be the guy he's taking out his frustrations on?
Not at all. Whoa! Head to the chair, and the fans are clearing out of the way of the carnage. Lance Erickson hasn't even taken his shirt off.
Lance Erikson doesn't need to take his shirt off. Tommy Hawk is in no condition to defend himself right now. Lance Erikson came out head of steam looking to hurt somebody, looking to get some retribution, to feel better about what happened. And that wound inside of him, that isn't going to heal for a while. So my guess this morning, Tommy Hawk's in for a painful experience that's going to last a very long time.
Big chop at a forearm now by the much angered Lance Erikson. Snapmare taking the man over, and now we're going to have a little bit of wrestling after the initial onslaught.
I want you, Stro!
You hear him, he wants Stro.
What do you want, Stro?
Lance Erikson feeling very cheated by what happened to him last week, and why not? He's out here competing for the television title. Ricky Shane standing outside of the ring, tripping him, sending him into DDTs, punching him for no reason on the outside, causing him to lose the match by count out when a disqualification should have happened. I don't know how the Stro walked away with the victory. I don't know why Lance Erikson didn't get a rematch this week. Politics, that's all it is, plain and simple, Dean Bibb.
You see that? The man is so focused, he has dropped an elbow on his helpless opponent, and he's still looking for Ricky Shane. He's looking for Stro also. He's just looking for payback, and Tommy Hawk, unfortunately, signed an open contract to face someone here at the Fall Festival Award, and he's firing back, but he's got a thumb to the eye for his
Well, that
troubles.
was short-lived.
Irish whip to the corner now, and the Canadian Lion is on the prowl for some payback. Big clothesline by Lance Erikson and Tommy Hawk.
If Tommy Hawk was smart at all right now, he'd lift his hand up, smack it against the mat 3 times, roll out of the ring, and head back to Cherokee, North Carolina with his life still intact.
Standing clothesline at arm's length now by Lance Erikson, dishing out the punishment on your first match this week on NWA Mountain State Wrestling.
Lance Erikson really taking it to Big Chief Nick needs to bail out of the ring.
But look, Tommy Hawk's, he's moving. He doesn't want to give up. He wants to try to fight. Erickson's willing to let him.
I've seen stronger looking houseplants, Dean Bibb. Let's face facts, Tommy Hawk needs out of this match in the worst way. Yeah, he's a young man, he's athletic, he's got some skill to him.
And now what? Now what, Stephen Hensley?
This is a flash in the pan moment, mark my words. Lance Erikson, like I said, flash in the pan moment. Lance Erickson's done the damage already. Tommy Hawk went in there with as much steam as he could. But let's face facts and call a spade to spade. Before the bell rung, Lance Erikson came out here, took it to him, punished him, dismantled him, took him apart piece by piece, and there really isn't that much left in the young man as he eats a spine buster for all his efforts this morning. That's going to be it.
That's it. Lance Erikson making a big statement.
That wasn't a statement, that was a beating.
Tonight, in War, West Virginia, at the War Fall Festival, the All-American Nightmare Dan Murdoch and the Silver Screen Superstar Steve Off, the Hollywood Outlaws, take on Bad Karma in a non-title match.
Bad Karma, let's get 2 things straight right now. 1, what I do on my personal time is my own personal business, and on a serious note, we're not your homeboys. We're the guys who are going to take the NWA Mountain State Tag Team Championship and any other singles or tag team championship that we challenge for. Steve Off, Dan Murdoch, the Hollywood Outlaws. Get used to it, because we're not going anywhere.
And if it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. In and out of the ring, whatever you want. We're not backing down. We never back down from a fight. At all.
And this is how our fights always end for our opponents. End scene, fade to black. Lights off.
And will be your worst nightmare.
Dan Murdoch and Steve Off, you think that you're going to take away our straps? No, it's not going to work that way. You see, because we're going to beat your ass in and out of that ring here tonight. It's time to realize the reality of wrestling, and the reality of wrestling is Bad Karma. You want to pay the cost to be the boss? Get in the ring with Bad Karma. We're going to show you the way home, boys. And it's not pleasant. That's right. Steve Off. I can only think of 2 other words that I want to use for him, and that's something that he might be partaking in a little later on tonight. But, bring it.
This match is scheduled for 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit. First, once again, in this corner right here, they are the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Tag Team Champions. First, introducing Mr. Erikson and his tag team partner, Kareem. Together, they are Bad Karma. Second, their opponents in this corner right here. First, introducing the silver screen superstar. He is Steve Off. And his tag team partner, he is the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Champion. He is the All-American Nightmare, Dan Murdoch. Together, they are the Hollywood Outlaws. Ref in this match, referee Ryan.
And the introductions have been made. The NWA Mountain State Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Bad Karma, appearing at the Fall Festival here in War. This is a non-title matchup, but it is interesting to note that we have crowned #1 tag team contenders, and they're getting their match. However, it is non-title.
And despite Steve Off's agility and speed, it was Mr. Erikson that caught him with a drop toe hold there, but Steve Off wasting no time and getting back up, grabbing a hold of the arm and subduing Mr. Erikson before any damage can be done to him. Tags in his partner, Dan Murdoch, and the Hollywood Outlaws working very well as a tandem for the moment.
Mr. Erickson's getting a rope break. He's going to shake off the pain in the arm there. Dan Murdoch is going to size up the opportunity here. If these guys can pull off a non-title victory over the champions, of course, NWA Mountain State would have to give them a championship shot on their own terms. Nice drop toe hold and some great maneuvering here by Dan Murdoch.
And Kareem, his ire is rising a little bit there, tries to come in through the ropes. Referee not going to allow it though. Dan Murdoch pulling Mr. Erikson over to the corner, holding on to the side headlock, tagging in the silver screen superstar. With a very effective armbar, is Steve Off going into a side headlock now.
Economy of motion. You can call that economy of motion. No waste of movement, and now Mr. Erikson going from a top wrist lock.
Sweeping the leg out from under Steve Off. Didn't mean to step on top of you, Dean. Actually, I did. I don't take back out. I take back my apology.
That's fitting. And off back to the left arm here. Coming up in action, we've got the NWA Mountain State Television Championship being defended. Maestro taking on Ricky Shane as the Hollywood Outlaws tag in and out at the expense of Mr. Erikson. We've also got heavyweight champion Johnny Blast defending against the big Russian Boris Dragoff. And where Boris Dragoff is, you know Mike Draven won't be far behind. Irish whip, shoulder tackle.
And Dan Murdoch coming off the ropes with a head of steam knocks Mr. Erikson to the ground.
Another shoulder tackle by Dan Murdoch. He's calling for one more. Let's see if he can go again.
And Murdoch.
Mr. Erikson stepping under.
And Murdoch gets caught big time and planted dead center. Erikson sticks his hand up, gets a tag out to Kareem. Kareem comes into the ring, picks Murdoch up by his hair, and a stiff shot to the back of the head.
You notice that shot to the head was followed by, hey, what's he got? What's he got? Kareem's got something. Kareem's got something, Stephen Hensley. You people can see it at home.
Kareem's got an effective strategy right now. The referee didn't see anything. The ref can't call what he does not see. Golden rule of wrestling.
And he's going right back to it, right to the throat of Dan Murdoch.
But once again, referee out of position. Steve Off is getting a little too up in arms about the situation at hand, and he's costing his partner right now as Bad Karma connects with a series of very effective double teams there.
Excellent ending and a spinning neck breaker on Dan Murdoch, and Dan Murdoch now getting a bit of the stretch across the chest there by Mr. Erikson, the masked man of Bad Karma.
And Mr. Erickson's doing a very good job of grounding the junior heavyweight champion. Murdoch's not going to do much flying around the ring from a prone base.
Especially not after having his windpipe bludgeoned by whatever that is that Kareem had.
It's just a closed fist.
No, that's not just a closed fist. That's a fist closed around something.
It was a fist filled with effective strategy. Whoop-de-doo. Long and short, though, Bad Karma in firm control for the moment.
And Kareem giving Murdoch a very bad nose job at the time here. Ryan right in the position to call that one.
Quite literally trying to rearrange the face of the All-American Nightmare.
Ryan telling him to stay out of the face. And there's
Silver
cheap
Screen,
shot.
Silver Screen Superstar hit a shot on the outside, but that accomplished exactly what Bad Karma was. Steve Off comes in the ring. He's angry. He's upset. His partner's stuck over in no man's land, getting waylaid by Mr. Arrogance and Kareem.
Yeah, Steve Off needs to quit doing favors for his partner for a moment.
I know he's upset. I know he's emotionally distraught over everything that's unfolded so far. You can see the anger in his eyes. I appreciate the hellfire and brimstone you see on his face, but the fact of the matter, the bottom line is, if you get angry, you lose focus, you're going to cost your partner, you're going to walk away with a loss.
Murdoch, great reversal on the fly, and a big backdrop now on Mr. Arrogance, and he's right where he needs to be. All he has to do is make 2 steps and reach out his hand, and Steve Off is in the ring.
That's still a long distance cover when you're in a tag match, but Murdoch gets it. He's got the tag. Steve Off in the ring. Meets Kareem with a back elbow. Meets Arrogance with a clothesline. Drop kick to Kareem.
Steve Off coming in a blazing inferno into this ring. A reversal now by Mr. Arrogance. Steve Off still fighting out of the corner. Kareem staggering over. And Off is looking to set up Mr. Arrogance. No, he's going to work over Kareem. Kareem was sneaking in with the title belt.
Trying to set up for lights off. Kareem fighting though. Catches him with back elbows to the head. Dan Murdoch off the ropes.
Oh my goodness.
And he knocked him out on the title belt.
The winners of the match.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
The Silver Screen Superstar, Steve Off, and his tag team partner, the All-American Nightmare, Dan Murdoch.
The Hollywood Nightmares the Hollywood Outlaws absolutely saying we're coming for the belts. We are your #1 contenders, and now we get to call the shots on our terms.
Hitting! West Virginia, October 8th, coming out. Stroll the Maestro of Wrestling. Ooh la la! It's gonna be into his house, spraying fire all over ya. NWA World Heavyweight Champion Adam Pearce will be there, and the finest of NWA Mountain State will be there. Check it out, people. Bring your babies, grandmas, grandpas, your whole generation. Coming down October 8th in West Virginia. Ooh la la!
This match is scheduled for 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit, and it is for the NWA Mountain State Wrestling TV title. First, in this corner right here, the challenger. Introducing his Ricky Shane. Second, in this corner right here, his opponent. He is the NWA Mountain State Wrestling TV champion. Introducing the Maestro of Wrestling. Ready for this match, referee Ryan.
Okay, Stephen Hensley. Last week, right here on NWA Mountain State Wrestling, Ricky Shane outside the ring during the Maestro's title defense against Lance Erikson. And Erickson really taking some offense to Ricky Shane's tripping him outside the ring and sending him into a DDT.
You mean costing him his television title shot? You know, I really gotta question the sanity of the NWA Mountain State Wrestling's board to allow Ricky Shane to retain his television title shot against the Maestro this week after what he did last week.
Let's put the facts in place here. Lance Erikson struck Ricky Shane first. Lance Erikson was counted out while brawling. But let me point this out.
Lance Erikson struck Ricky Shane first,
And
Lance Erikson had pulled Ricky Shane's hands up into the ring to trip him off the ropes.
And speaking of Lance Erikson, the Canadian Lion is back at ringside. But however, what happened on the inside the ring is the story. Stro, just like UWF in the 80s, Stro let those two brawl. Stro let those two duke it out, and Stro reserved his strength. Just like Michael Hayes convincing Terry Gordy to let One Man Gang and Hacksaw Jim Duggan duke it out. Who ended up the first ever UWF champion? Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Stro with the wrist lock. And a side arm drag here. That's another one of those economy of motion maneuvers.
Stro doing a very good job of grounding Ricky Shane for the moment.
And now it's Lance Erikson in Ricky Shane's face. Shades of last week, but it's a mirror image. Ricky firing back as he can.
Hey, Ricky Shane's the one that put the all's fair play into effect here. He wants to come out, stick his nose into Erickson's business. Sure, go right on ahead. We'll see what that does when you stick a big old stick right into the side of a Canadian Lion. That Canadian Lion's gonna get mad.
Hard kicks ringing off the buildings here at War. It's great. You can look up here in War. There are fans on the rooftops of the buildings checking out this show that we were so happy to bring to the Fall Festival here in War. As Ricky Shane now is going to dish out some damage on Stro.
Ricky Shane going to work on the arm of the Maestro now. Torques it nice and good, but Stro pulls him on over. And an arm drag from a prone position on the mat. Strozilla standing tall for the moment. And now Ricky Shane and the Maestro circling one another. Jacques Moliere on the outside in close proximity to the very dangerous Canadian Lion.
Both men trading kicks now in the ring. Maestro's side headlock takeover and back to the left arm. Great maneuver there. Smashing the shoulder, the pecs, the neck.
Maestro grounding and grinding away on Ricky Shane.
Coming up next, NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Johnny Blast is going to defend against Boris Dragoff. Lance Erikson on the outside taking a keen interest in the outcome of this match as Ricky Shane reverses. Stro now pressing the advantage at a pinfall.
And Stro.
Wow, hard shot there by Ricky Shane.
And Stro pulled Ricky Shane down on the mat, but Ricky Shane answering real quick and kind with a stiff shot to the Maestro, back up to his feet first, and still staying on top of Stro, the Maestro of wrestling.
Both of these men former NWA Mountain State Wrestling heavyweight champions as Ricky Shane shoots him off and gives a back elbow. Oh, and Lance Erikson now doing a little bit of interference.
Looks kind of familiar, but a little bit different. Last week it was Ricky Shane tripping Lance Erikson. This week, Erickson tripping Shane.
Jacques, what do you think?
I don't think Jacques thinks very much.
Canadian sucks.
And the fans on the outside showing their intolerance of other nations.
And now we got Lance Erikson coming over.
I think Lance Erickson's got some words for everyone. Stro, though, trying to force a submission from Ricky in the ring. Ricky rolling him over for a pinfall attempt. I think Erickson has the microphone now.
Stro got the shoulder up. And Ricky pressing an advantage. Schoolboy by the champion.
Pinfall attempt. Shane's got the bottom rope, though. Doesn't look like Jacques going to drag that microphone away from Erickson.
Well, could you? I don't think I could.
I wouldn't try for anything.
Irish whip and a reversal now. Oh, drop toe. That was nice.
Shane off the ropes. Drop kick to the head of the Stro.
Wow.
Erickson telling the ref to hold on.
5 minutes have elapsed in the match. 5 minutes.
What are you doing?
Ricky Shane now getting distracted.
Erickson pointing out the logo of NWA Mountain State Wrestling, the flagship of the National Wrestling Alliance. Ricky Shane continuing to work on the Maestro, but distracted, and justifiably so. He's got a Canadian lion breathing down his neck on the outside of the ring.
Even if Erikson isn't interacting, you got to understand there's a mental aspect of this that Ricky Shane knows. Hey, he's out there. He's on my case. He's out there because of my actions, and I'm in a dangerous position. And that's now the Maestro delivering blows to the torso.
And you can see the distraction that Lance Erickson is providing coming into full effect right now. Ricky Shane was doing a really good job in there against the Maestro, and he's doing a really good job again.
Ricky Shane now putting some blows into the champion. This is a hard-fought match. Both of these guys definitely taking their aggressions out on each other. 4 minutes remaining in the match. 4 minutes.
Lateral press by Shane still doesn't come away with the pinfall victory, though. I was going to say earlier, the distraction of Lance Erickson, the mind games showing firmly in this one. And just as soon as I thought Ricky Shane had gone away from it and turned things around, he goes over to Erickson. He gets caught by the Maestro trying to bring him down to the mat with that crossface. The referee gets taken out. Stroh's got the crossface on, but no one's there to ask. No one's there to ask the all-important question.
And this is a very, very bad situation for all parties concerned.
If you want to know what this is, take anarchy, multiply it by mass, you have mass anarchy. That's the situation we have at the moment.
Great reversal!
Double knee smash to the face of the Maestro! He could be out! He could be out cold!
Ricky Shane's getting the cover!
Erickson's in the ring though!
Oh, no!
Referee out of position, a slow count. It doesn't matter, Erickson there to stop Ricky Shane's dreams of a TV title victory. Did it in its tracks, a spine buster.
The referee can't even call the bell.
Do we have an official call in this situation?
I don't even know if the referee's got his faculties enough that he could see Lance Erickson in the ring.
I would have to agree with that. The referee holding his head. He's looking up right now. The only thing he's seeing is stars and Tweety birds as Erickson continues to punish Ricky Shane.
Ricky Shane, desperate to just get to a lateral base here, shoots him off another vicious spine buster. Ricky Shane taking the wind right out of Ricky Shane. Is Lance Erickson to Lance Erickson?
If you've ever wondered what payback looks like, take a good look right now. Erickson puts Stroh on top of Ricky Shane. It's over, it's done.
That's your payback. I don't like it.
I never thought I'd see Erickson help the Stroh get a victory, but let's not mince facts. Erickson did this for himself. This is payback. This is a receipt.
The winner of the match and still remain NWA.
And like I said, Dave, this wasn't for the Stroh's benefit, and you can see it as evidenced right now by Lance Erickson going to work on him. The most important goal, keep Ricky Shane from getting what Ricky Shane stole from him. Secondary goal, take apart the Maestro. Put himself back in position for another TV title shot.
Ricky Shane can't even get back up to his feet fully as Lance Erickson is just waylaying the heavyweight champion. And now he's going to turn his attention over to Raw talent Ricky Shane.
Well, if Ricky Shane don't get back to his feet, it's going to be by Erickson's doing. And a clothesline almost sent his head flying to the third row.
Both of the competitors in this match have been absolutely laid out by the Canadian Lion.
Both of these competitors are paying a price, Dean.
He's done. He's walking back. And he's very smug and proud of himself, this Lance Erickson.
As well he should be. You steal a victory from the Canadian Lion, you pay a price.
Once again, the winner of the match and still remain the NWA Mountain State Wrestling TV champion. He is the Maestro.
But a victory at what price, Stephen Hensley?
The Maestro.
When was the last time you saw a winner of a match that's so...
Oh, hey, you know me. My name is Eugene, and I just want to say hi to all my NWA Mountainside fans out there. And you know what? Friday, October the 7th, I'm coming to Beckley, West Virginia. And that's not all, because the very next night, Saturday, October the 8th, I'm coming to Hinton, West Virginia. So all my NWA Mountainside fans know that Eugene is coming, and I'm coming to see my friend Ricky Shane.
This match is scheduled for 1 fall with TV time remaining. And it is for the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And it is the main event for this hour. First, in this corner right here, the challenger, escorted to the ring by Mike Draven. Introducing Boris Dragoff. Together, they are the Army of Darkness. Second, here's the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Introducing Johnny Blast. Referee this match, referee Ryan.
So this is it. It's for all the marbles here. The NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Championship is on the line here. The most prestigious title in all of West Virginia. One of the most sought-after belts on the East Coast, and a stepping stone to other great titles such as the National Heavyweight Championship held by Chance Prophet at the time. The North American Heavyweight Championship, Sean the Temptation Tempters. And of course, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, held by Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, who's coming in very soon as Johnny Blast and Boris Dragoff lock up, collar and elbow tie up. These guys pretty evenly matched size-wise. This is gonna.
Johnny Blast has been as passionate a champion as we've seen in a long time here in NWA Mountain State Wrestling.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of steam behind him right now, a lot of emotion riding on that heavyweight title victory he attained at Mountain Jamboree. But he has a tall and foreboding task this morning going against Boris Dragoff.
Both men locking up again. As you said, Johnny Blast, a fighting champion, a man's champion. He hasn't ran from anybody. And this big Russian and his contemporary, Mike Draven, do not scare Johnny Blast. Here's an Irish whip across. Shoulder tackle by the champion. Champion's hitting the ropes. Stepping over easily. Dragoff going for a hip toss is blocked, and the champion gives one of his own.
And right now, the man who's madder than a half-filled is on fire, taking it to Boris Dragoff this morning.
NWA Mountain State Wrestling, the flagship of the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance.
Boris Dragoff not deterred at all by the early offense shown by Johnny Blast, still keeping a very cool, very calm demeanor. Blast takes him down to the mat with a side headlock, cinches it on. Dragoff trying to position, turns him over for a pinfall attempt. One count only, though.
He has to stay calm and cool, because if he loses his composure or takes his mind off of matters, he's going to be dealing with two men. As again, Dragoff almost gets a 2 count out of that as Mike Draven looks on. It's been a great time here at the Fall Festival in War, West Virginia. We've been glad to bring you 2 hours worth of television over the past couple of weeks. Stay tuned, more great things to come, including the arrival of a former WWE talent right here in NWA Mountain State, and that is big news as Dragoff puts a big forearm across the chest of the champion, and another.
To call that punishing, I would say that's an understatement, Dean. That looks absolutely crushing from where I stand.
Big back elbow off the ropes now.
He may have knocked out Johnny Blast's last tooth with that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm ringside here with this live, beautiful audience. What do you guys have to say? USA! USA! USA!
What in the heck is USA doing?
Mike Draven interjecting himself into the match here. Well,
why not? Jacques Moliere's interjecting himself with the fans. Was this really needed? We had a heavyweight title match going on here.
And the fans are
well in hand.
The fans are enjoying the match here, Steven. You should be thankful for the fans as a 2 count.
The fans being led by the biggest Muppet of them all, Jacques Moliere.
Jacques Moliere is your contemporary, my friend.
That's being kind to Jacques Moliere.
Both men fighting and slugging it out tooth and nail in the ring.
Dragoff misses with a back elbow tip, but he makes Johnny Blast eat it with that big boot to the mush.
He did not miss with that boot, did he? And here's the cover. Do we have a new champion? Do we? 2 count. 2 count only. Boris Dragoff now in a position to really press an advantage here. He's got the champion really where he wants him. And he can start wearing him down. Brings him back up. Oh, big chop now by the big Russian. Oh, another big chop. Irish whip across the ropes. Sets him up.
Sunset flip.
Can he pull him over?
Johnny Blast pulling for all he's worth. He gets him down.
2 count. Dragoff kicks out. He's the first man back to his feet. Oh, huge sickle by Boris Dragoff.
And if you want to know what impact looks like, you saw it right there.
Here's a cover.
Hooks the leg.
1, 2. Johnny Blast is still in this, ladies and gentlemen.
But for how long?
The title isn't going to change hands on a sickle at this point. Oh, big shot to the rib cage. Another big shot. Dragoff shoots him across the ropes. It follows in with a big splash. The big man from Vladivostok putting everything into it. The champion ducks a clothesline.
Johnny Blast makes him eat it, though, with a big right fist to the side of the jaw. Bounds off the ropes.
And hits his own clothesline. Did you hear the smack of that clothesline?
Johnny Blast, though, not very quick to capitalize despite that fantastic maneuver.
5 minutes into this match. 5 minutes into this match.
Johnny Blast back to his feet here, the champion.
So's Dragoff, though.
Now Blast pushing the advantage here. He's gonna shoot the man across the ring.
Sends Dragoff in hard, but comes running in every bit as hard into a big boot one more time.
Can Dragoff score the pinfall and become the new champion?
Almost had him there. How many more shots to the head that stiff can Johnny Blast take?
Man, I'm telling you what, these men are huge. They're monsters in the ring. Dragoff hooking a suplex. Yes, he is.
He's got him in good position. Getting ready to pick him up and over. And sends him onto the top rope for a little bit of an assist here. No, he's draping on top of the top turnbuckle there. And he's punishing Johnny Blast's ribcage there with that vicious forearm shot.
Big forearm. Mike Draven giving words of encouragement to his Russian compatriot. And we got a small package by the champion.
Are you kidding me? No.
3 count.
What? I cannot believe my eyes. Dragoff had everything going his way.
Johnny Blast.
Absolutely everything going his way. Is it over?
The winner of the match, and still
Unbelievable.
remain NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Whoa!
Draven taking a snapshot. He's going right after Johnny Blast. Johnny Blast with his back turned, celebrating a little bit too soon there.
Dragoff's got the chain and Draven's got the champion. Oh no, that's it. No, don't hang the man. Don't hang the man. Don't hang the man.
Boris Dragoff choking the life out of Johnny Blast with that chain.
Here comes Diablo Jr. and the Maestro.
Dragoff jumping to the outside, Draven in tow.
And Johnny
Dragoff
Blast.
with a parting shot to Blast.
Blast helpless on the outside after being choked over the top rope with the chain.
Diablo and Stro coming out to the aid of their SPD teammate. A little too late.
This is terrible.
And Dragoff, he may have lost the match, but he made sure as heck sure to let Johnny Blast know the war is far from over.
I'm telling you, this was chaos. You can't, even if you don't break a man's neck, you can do damage to cartilage. You can do damage to the spinal column. The NWA needs to look into these actions.
Or you can stay firmly inside of his head. And rest assured, Dean Bibb, Johnny Blast is going to want retribution for this.
Saturday night, October 8th, hitting West Virginia. Your tag team champions are coming down to kick some ass.
October 15th, Summersville, West Virginia. NWA Mountain State will be there along with me, the hardest working man in wrestling, Jimmy Nemeth, and the rest of the Mountain State crew. Be there.
Hey NWA Mountain State fans, I'm Jessica Schuler. Join us on October 7th to see Stro versus Pearce, Showdown number 2. The NWA World's Heavyweight title is on the line.
Doing everything he can here. He hooks the other arm now.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, Rockstar. 30 seconds. So doing everything he can to tear Adam Pearce in half. He's worked on the neck. He's worked on the rotator cuff. He's trying to snap
20
seconds, Rockstar. He is stretching the world heavyweight champion. Laying the elbows in, less than 20 seconds to the match.
All the hooks
in West Virginia.
9,
On the line
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The match is
Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
It's time limit. That means we go to a judge's decision. Judge's decision.
This is a singular opportunity in a man's life to do something the right way. I've looked in a mirror and I've been given one last opportunity. It is not only my pledge to you at home, but to myself, to my family, to the National Wrestling Alliance. I will be the definition of the word champion. I will be unwavering. I will leave no stone unturned, no challenge unanswered.
The first time that Scrap Baron Adam Pearce and Stro, the Maestro of Wrestling, stepped in the ring for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. It was epic. It was a classic. 45 minutes straight through. And you tapped out to the crossface right after the bell rang. So close. Regardless, it was a moment. It was history. Hats off to you, Adam Pearce. Mutual respect, much respect for what you've accomplished being the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Since then, a lot of things have happened. You got injured, lost the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and there are critics out there saying, the naysayers saying that you would never come back to a pro wrestling ring, much less regain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. But you did. I was there. The Ohio State Fair. You went out there with 3 of the NWA's finest and reclaimed that prize. You proved all the doubters wrong. See, in this pro wrestling business, you can't train somebody to be a champion. Either it's in you or it's not. Just like if it's in you to be a pro wrestler or it's not. You can't just watch TV one day and say, I'm going to be a wrestler, and then the very next day, hey, I'm in the ring, I'm a wrestler, I'm a star, I'm wearing makeup. I'm the man, I'm the woman. I'm the upper echelon of pro wrestling. What you do, you pay your dues. You drive up and down the roads, you travel up and down the country, you travel around the world, you learn from the veterans, you get experience night after night, whether you're 100%, whether you're injured, you go out there and you perform. No matter what, you learn from the best to be the best. And Adam Pearce, you are a champion. You are the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. And this time around, Stro, the Maestro of Wrestling, will be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Ooh la la.
Welcome to the summit of Battle Mountain. A place for centuries that's been a strategic point in war. Countless men have lost their lives on this very spot, most notably in the Spanish-American War. And while this has been a place known for bloodshed and conquest. For me, it's a sanctuary. For me, it's a place to reflect, to look back. And I've been doing a lot of that lately. Maestro, I heard your words, and so many of them rang true. October 7th, they're calling it Showdown 2. And I believe what you said about our first encounter, I think the word you used was epic. And I would agree. But as I look back on the last several months, so much has changed for me personally and professionally. As everyone knows, I'm on one last ride. But if I look close enough, I think our first encounter may have been a catalyst of sorts. Because I'll admit it, I came into that encounter in West Virginia looking at you, and the old adage, never judge a book by its cover, I don't think has ever been more appropriate. Because I look at you, Stro, and I look at myself back then, and I remember thinking to myself, this man is not a world champion. This man's not a contender. Have I ever been more wrong? Have I ever been more arrogant? I think you're brilliant. I think you're a master technician. I think you are, without question, one of the most cunning competitors I've ever set foot in the ring with. Why? Because you take the outward, the obvious, the seemingly obvious, and you twist that into a 1,000% advantage. Because I got a whole lot more than I bargained for the last time we were in the ring. Going the distance, time limit draw. Every ounce of our passion, sweating to the max. I became aware of how good you were within minutes of being in the ring with you, and if it wasn't for a few fleeting seconds, you'd be the heavyweight champion of the world right now. So while you might call that match epic, Stro, I think it was one humongous kick in the ass for me, and I'll be honest with you, I've learned a lot about you, about the game, but most importantly about myself. October the 7th is a new day. For you, for me, for the fans of Mountain State Wrestling, because we'll lock eyes in the center of that ring. And now I'm going to extend my hand to you because you've earned my respect. But know this, I'm not looking for a time limit draw. I'm not looking to escape with my championship any way I can. I'm looking, Stro, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at beating you. I'm looking at proving to you and everyone in Mountain State Wrestling that Adam Pearce, the 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, is the best in this business. Suffice it to say, Maestro, October the 7th, I'm looking for a very, very different outcome.